Hello all you pretty people, hope you are doing well. In this video we will be going over some information about me, my friends, and the Eyes of Egypt albums, and what drove us to create them. This should be really fun and chill, I hope you enjoy. So, I am Austin Holden, I live in South Carolina. It's a decent little state, but yes, it can get very boring in this southern area, for sure. Well, at least where I live specifically. Anyway, though I have been creating much music for a decade, pretty seriously almost entirely on my own right from my bedroom. I mostly produce gothic nu metal along with some industrial attached. I think it all is a great little mix, especially with the cryptic mysteriousness that the lyrics and tone that each of my songs offer. In the beginning, I had no set metal subgenres really. I was just wanting something very heavy, dark, and horror-like. Like with the first album I created called Blood Showers. That album, it pretty much came out really interesting and showed many signs of what I produced to this day, but more off the rails and unpolished back then. But yeah, I try to get a good unique atmosphere going for each song and roll as freshly as I can. So, with not just that album, but with every song that I'll create, that's how I want things to be track after track. More refreshing and different. Now, my music is more polished and easier to listen to now, mostly because of growth in my writing, song arrangement, audio quality, my overall happiness, and more time to sit and think and do things, and just putting all my desired subgenres all down together. There's a lot of the same style I keep from that album till this day. It's just more evolved and uplifted, I create a lot of music now, so it's like pretty much almost every week I'll start a new song or something, some kind of idea, mostly to keep myself feeling pushed, just better in a place in life. Because I'm mostly, I'm a lone wolf. I always depend on myself for happiness. So there's a lot of personal life schedules, and I just really I work myself to death. And the fact that not many people like myself exist in my area, it's really hard to, gather people that want to work and actually are on your level, at this level. So music is the one big key to most of my happiness, since not many can understand and jump on board around here. Though being able to create it alone and lift your own self up like that means a whole lot. Just so much. I mean, there was times where I didn't know where to turn and I felt like a complete failure and like I was stuck in so many different bad situations. It's kind of crazy how I didn't turn to anyone at the time, but instead I was writing music and I was running and trying to grab motivation from within myself. And it helps me doing other life things, looking at my creations and feeling my inner vibes on how I want to express my own world. And I just couldn't find any good uplifting music besides my own at the time. This was like in high school and everything was just very chaotic and I was so underinspired by the modern music at the time and nothing just really hit me. Nothing gave me a good punch or a good original vibe. So I went on recording sprees and got better and better with my skills. I dug very deep and I pushed myself for a long while till I eventually found my true sound. And I learned how to make really, really good, juicy, full audio presets that I could reuse for albums. that I just really liked, and I evolved them over time to the highest possible quality, and it just made me feel more complete. I was filling in that empty void I felt for so long, finally, letting out everything in all these strange lyrics and beautiful, crisp, new, clear waveforms of sound. It wasn't just the lack of good music that held me down back then. It was also the shadow of shallowness in my community and the society that I lived in. When I was in school, I had a lot on my mind pretty much all the time, every day. Plus, I was really, really shy and I had not much friends. No one truly understood who I was, what I was going for. I was that, weird pretty boy kind of guy. You know, I was trapped behind a mask for so long. I just never really talked to anybody. I never cared. I always had to keep my head up and just get my work done. I couldn't really get into having much friends and, having people rely on you or talking crap and doing all this random stuff that we really didn't even need to be doing. But yeah, I stayed to myself. I got my work done, graduated. Most of my friends did not, surprisingly. So I did it, but it was a hard, lonely road through school. Yeah. So I knew eventually I had to break out of my shyness. My shy, submissive kind of mentality was my weakness. Some bullied me for it, even teachers. I was just a soft, like a, I was just so soft-spoken and mostly afraid. Felt like a tortured girl in a guy's body. So, in order to get over all of that frustration, that sadness, that low self-esteem, I just made a lot of music and shared it with as many people as possible. And it took a lot of my anxiety down. And slowly I returned happier and just more fuller in life. I could just breathe easy. I had some good stuff under my belt. Had something going on that was different than everybody else. I was standing out and just going for it. So they gave me some breathing room and motivated me to push on. I had a solid coping. It kind of cut my shyness in half, although the other half still remains in my character today. I think it's a good thing. It's a survival instinct to me. I have gut feelings around many people, and holding my tongue has always kept me out of trouble. Even life-threatening situations, actually. But with promoting my music at school, it was cool, though it could only do so much. Not many people cared too much about these certain music projects, but it was something I did. So throughout my end days of high school, I just kept to myself and just worked and worked on ideas for music with not a single care if they liked it or not. I mostly just promoted on Facebook, but then eventually they took free speech away, so I had to delete my account because everybody's Facebook was getting suspended or hacked, and moved to just YouTube and BandCamp and just started my own little website. It was a lot of work, but being free of toxic media is always great. Same with, in person. But being able to make myself happy and not dependent on anyone else was the ultimate key. And it will always seem that way deep down in general. It can sound a little selfish, but no one ever offers to truly listen to the real me and take me completely serious. So the lone wolf path is what I stand by, and it just leads me to doing most of these projects alone. It has turned out pretty great throughout the years, though. After a while, I have found a couple of wonderful singers that match my personality. We have Destiny, Liz, and Sabrina. Very wonderful friends. I've met two of them online, one in real life, which Destiny was my old girlfriend. We've seen each other a lot and had a lot of good times. Liz and Sabrina, we just collab from time to time. They are very wonderful, talented people as well. But yeah, the bar kept rising higher. Things were getting spiced up once I met them, and everything was becoming more alive and more free. They helped me find parts of myself that I never knew existed, and showed me that there's more hope. There's hope in the darkest of places. I thank them a lot for the love and support. They are wonderful, wonderful people. I've gotten way more confident as a musician working with them, though they may be mostly far away from where I live. They definitely had a huge impact on my life, and yeah, cannot thank them enough. We've made some really great songs together. That's pretty much the opening to this video, so hope you have learned a little something. Now on to the meanings and the why of creating the albums. Blood Showers. So this one was my very first serious solo project. It was released on BandCamp April 25th, 2019. It was supposed to be a good mix of all the kinds of metal that I liked. Black metal, nu metal, doom metal, industrial metal, and so on. This album contains 15 tracks plus one bonus track. It was an album that really expressed a lot of darkness and macabre inside of my head at the time. It was also representing a chaotic battle I had fought with this demon named Lilith, in order to save my friend Billy from a suicide incident, believe it or not. So since this was my first album, I didn't have a really good balance in quality and volume levels. So my views on all of that were very narrow at the time. Though the tracks stood out in a good way, and each one would be a whole other vibe. Unlike those boring bands that you see that have all these amazing album covers, but the music isn't up to par. Like they only have like one or two good songs that really bang, but the rest does not stand out at all. Though with Blood Showers, it was truly unique. I actually created the album cover first to get the theme and vibe I wanted for the music. It was actually a picture of one of my old girlfriends. Believe it or not, she just took the picture in like her bathroom, and I just altered it and made it look very creepy, very dark and bloody. Then went on from there to match everything up, audio wise. So yeah, it worked out wonderfully. I spent so many hours writing and rearranging, grabbing sound samples, and going really weird and creative. It carried itself pretty well in the end. It had a aura of eeriness, violence, mystery, and insanity all in one. Very dark fantasy world mixed with real life situations. It was the edgy beginning to my music career. If I had to pick a favorite track off the album, it would have to be Death for Dinner, for sure. Super heavy song. Next up is Malicious Defacement. This album came out on October 12th, 2020, the same date as my old girlfriend Destiny's birthday. This was more of an experimental type album. The album expresses multiple subgenres within the deep and dark realms and vast principles of our world. It describes everything word for word in each track you get yourself into. Pretty much about how society is today and the lies that exist from within. Secret experiments, government involvements, sacred stuff, the depletion of the lower classes, the evil spoiling of mankind must come to an end. It's more of a serious album, sure, but I did play around and have a really fun time with this one. There's way longer tracks and new fresh elements, and a good bit of different singing styles as well. It's an album I made right after Blood Showers, when I was feeling a little better and I had more confidence and motivation. The Bandcamp release has like 18 tracks plus 2 bonus tracks and other digital content like photos that came with the purchase. Listen and let your mind wander on its own and mark the importance within each song. Embrace your senses and feed your soul to the cryptic side of music. This album and its subgenre list is pretty bizarre. Blackened, industrial, sludge, nu metal. It turned out to be another far out album. I just wish I knew more about, mixing and mastering at the time. But I think it came out pretty decent, I would say. A lot of my vocals from Blood Showers up to this album seemed pretty dark and not as bright and cutting through the mix enough as they should have in the certain parts. But, I mean, though the magic behind each song is truly a profound experience. I had my old girlfriend Destiny, my brother Alex, and my good friend Chris helped me on this album. Destiny did vocals on Spreading Evil, Alex did the soundtrack for Spreading Evil, Chris helped me on some industrial drum tracks for a few songs like Bleed Like You Want To, and I think there was one other one, but I can't really remember. But yeah, it turned out pretty nice for the time. There were more styles and ideas racking up, landing on the table. If I had to pick a favorite song off this album, it would have to be either Mudcat or Spreading Evil. Next up we have The Bunny Girl EP. This was released on July 10th, 2021. Now this one was pretty cool. It had a good mix of happy and dark. But the grooves all felt really great, The lyrics spat out pretty much up front emotions. I was very happy how it turned out. This EP has 5 tracks total. They contain special feelings of fantasy, love, and rebellion. This one has been pushed to open more vibes, steers the listener to break through any hard times they may be having. It's a feeling unimaginable, reaching to make you love and fight for what you have altogether. The emotions shiver down your spine, feeling that urge to burst through the roof with excitement, a never-ending rise of plans in your head. It brings a free and proud satisfaction of one's self that lingers to create an unrelenting, optimistical view. This EP took about 5 months to create because of low self-esteem issues and a little choice fatigue, but here we are. I pulled it together and handed it out in its many different raw forms to show you of an idea of my struggles in life and my uprising, to give you the truth and pureness with hope, and send a message saying nothing is perfect. It was never planned to be. Take what you have and do the best with it as you possibly can. Because sometimes that's all you can do. I guess this EP is a great way of showing your true forms and love that we dish out. Because we truly love showing, our good side, not our flaws most of the time, but our true self and hardships will be seen. And that's what life is all about. Destiny helped yet again sing on Faceless Cries near the end of the track. It's really cool. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I did everything else. But yeah, making this album was a good bit of fun. I had not much of a struggle with this one at all. It was just a little, you know, choice fatigue bits in some of the songs. But if I could pick a favorite track from this one, I would have to go with Faceless Cries. It's a long, kind of repetitive song, but I love the meaning behind it and how it just makes you feel. Next up, we have the Psychopathic Vengeance EP. Yes, another EP, which released in January 24th, 2022. So yeah, you can say I've been pushing a pretty good bit of music each year, huh? I really did have fun with this one though. It didn't take long at all to complete it. I think I've wrote and recorded 3 of the tracks all in one single day. Then the last track took me, I think, a couple days to complete. It is a lot longer and more in depth, though I find it very crazy that I had all that energy to do 4 songs in under a week. That's just really wild. Having all those saved presets really came in handy. I was able to make a pretty quick foundation and just knock out everything. I pretty much started with the drums, and then I just started spitting out riffs, and then I would do my lyrics last over all that. Since I've been working with music so long, that's pretty much how I be doing it, unless I want to start with guitar first and then try to get some drums to go with it. Or either a melody or something I would sing. It really depends on the mood. But yeah, this one all started off with drums. But it felt amazing. It's not the best little black metal EP. It's like my only black metal full black metal project, but it stands on its own, and I'm proud of it. And but yeah, this was a fun, brutal little project. Not much of a backstory behind it, besides me just being bored one day, playing Saints Row 2, and thinking of something to bang to. So I started writing and recording and going over the songs as I played the game. Pretty much all day, back and forth. So if I had to pick, my favorite track would have to be Nasty. It's got a little bit of everything. I love the synths in there, the guitar, the bass, drums are pretty swell as well. But yeah, that is the Psychopathic Vengeance EP. It pretty much speaks for itself. It's very, very kind of, gory and strong and just hardcore. So next up, we have the infamous Asylum Rituals, which released on my birthday, May 4th, 2023. This album is about how we feel in the world today. Pretty much another malicious defacement approach, but with a stronger, heavier gothic style, with the same bad society theme. The struggles within the greedy human race. The storms that we will eventually have to face and conquer. This album is yet another big milestone we have so rightfully reached. It is one of our biggest yet. with new, higher quality tracks that tell compelling catastrophes that will trip your psyche. Each track is filled to the brim with their own special twist that can tell the story in many odd perspectives in your ears. We are very proud to present Asylum Rituals. We hope you enjoy its dark aggressiveness, and most importantly, its pure and truly unpredictable atmosphere. For it is what conveys us to the true meanings behind the songs, not just the lyrics alone. The emotional grip that brings you into another world that's full and ever changing. I had a good time recording this one. This is the first album that features Sabrina Spinks. And damn, does she do a hell of a job on the vocals. This album was amazing with her. It was a big challenge, though, not going to lie, but it felt really great working with somebody new. She uplifted me. We got so much more done, constantly getting over hurdles and just, full speed ahead. The lyrics fit the theme of the album really well and really have a strong impact and relatable stance with today's society. Sabrina and I really shine with our vocals on this one, although the guitars were really good this time around too. The bass stood out more and the drums were faster and more delivering. I think my favorite track from this album would have to be Plague. The shifts in the song are very strong and violent as well as beautiful. Next up, we have Endless Bloodshed. This is yet another EP. Me and Sabrina have collabed once again. This EP released April 9th, 2024. This was a quick EP about the battles within every person's mind. Though they may seem hard and pretty much endless, there will be a time when we are free from them and victorious. A really fun and chill gothic nu metal type album. Me and Sabrina really delivered on the vocals on this one. But yeah, it was super refreshing. It was cool to tone it down a bit and go for a more regular gothic metal approach. This EP is pretty smooth, I'd say. Very good quality. I love the mixing and mastering on it. Everything seems to fit really well. Nice, good double-tracked guitars, just like in Asylum Rituals. Which I think Asylum Rituals was not the first time with double-tracked guitars. But anyway, Sabrina did another amazing job backing me up with vocals. And the meanings in the songs we've came up together. We wrote a lot of more stuff together on this one. And everything's bitter and sweet. And has that good little fantasy-like vibe. With some good pure emotions to go with it. Nothing really too dark or negative. Except maybe the stories on Malevolent Moon or Star Snatcher perhaps. But if I had to pick a favorite song, it would have to be Unknown. It just hits so well and it's super catchy. A good mix of soft and heavy. So yeah, that is all about the albums. We've came a long way. Each album is pretty different, but still very similar to each other. If I had to pick a favorite album, I would probably go with Endless Bloodshed, just because it's the best quality possible. The vocals, the instrumentals are perfect. The mixing is spot on. The vibes are really, really cool. Very relentless. And it's just a really good time. It's a really good short little EP. I really enjoy all the albums, and I hope I can share even more with you guys in the future. We'll have a lot of stuff going. We have a few projects at the moment, but nothing too overwhelming yet. We still got a lot of little things to finish up to get prepared for the big stuff. But hope you guys have enjoyed and learned a lot. I had a pretty good time making this video. Been taking my time on it and really putting a lot of good thought in and as much details as I can. Though there's a lot of little things I wish I could have put in, but we may save them for like Q&As and stuff. Eventually we will probably do some live streams and have stuff like that, or maybe some little live plays. But yeah, other than that, if you guys want to follow the Discord, I have a fan Discord in the link below. You can join on in and you can get special news about what we're doing, our projects. We may do a little giveaway sooner or later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Come hang out with us and have a good time. We hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.